My dad is potentially filing for bankruptcy. What does that mean for me? They don't come in and make you sell all your things. They will evaluate the assets your parents have against the debts. They are allowed to keep their home and their car. If they have investments, those may be liquidated to cover debt, but generally someone that bad off has no real assets and will get a fresh start, but 10 years of a significant impact on their credit. It should have no impact on you at all. Bankruptcy doesn't take personal possessions. Some bank or other creditor doesn't want your used gaming system or TV, clothes, etc. Depending on type of bankruptcy, they would only take assets like investments, home, vehicles, but even then certain assets are protected, like they may be able to take a boat or third car, but not primary transportation or primary residence. And FYI, bad things happen to good people. Please be understanding of your dad and yourself. There can be a lot of stigma around being in debt, but there are also a lot of big players screwing working folks out here. As others have said, they aren't going to come take your stuff. They probably won't even take your dad's stuff, as in physical possessions, unless he owns multiple cars, houses, etc. The only precaution I would take is to make sure your banking relationships are not entangled. It means don't bother asking your dad to co-sign any loans for the next 7 to 10 years. You're on your own credit-wise. Other than that, your dad won't be able to support your family's expenses with credit anymore, so you're likely going to be eating cheaper stuff, but probably won't see much else. Hold your dad down with your support and give that guy a hug every once in a while. If you have a joint bank account with your parents, that may be an issue for a bit. Generally, the courts will take into consideration accounts held for children, however not always. If you are college-bound, there is a plus side. Although dad may not be paying tuition, his bankruptcy will make you eligible for Pell Grants and other funding. Plus you can get loans without a cosigner because of it. Meet with college financial advisors and see what's possible. Play this right and it could be a full ride, especially at in-state schools. My parents declared bankruptcy when I was a kid because of some bank bullshit going on, and they definitely do not make you sell possessions. It had so little impact on my daily life that I actually didn't know it was something they'd done until they told me later in my 20s. I promise it's gonna be okay. Bankruptcy isn't the death sentence people think it is. It's a fresh start. It'll be rough for a while, but you can recover from it, sometimes relatively quickly, and build back your credit. Only takes a few years if you're smart about it. Nobody is coming into your house to take items away. Listen, bankruptcy is a legal maneuver. There is stigma around it because people don't understand what it is. No one's taking anything from you. Only people with means and things to protect file bankruptcy. Others just go broke and go homeless. Bankruptcy can sometimes help protect your house for some time as well. It's too intricate to explain here, but your parents will bounce back. Few years back, was out of work due to knee surgery. Got royally screwed by disability, didn't get a single check until after I was back at work. Unfortunately, had to live on credit cards for several months to pay the bills and groceries. By the time I got any money, we racked up some debt. It was a hole we were unable to dig out from. We tried for about 1.5 years to dig out and finally had to file. They didn't take anything. They only were concerned about me and my wife's debts. Since you are 19 and an adult, anything you own would likely not be counted. We had to go on a payment plan, but that's about it. We had a monthly payment we made, that was about it. I started going back to school during the process and was able to get student loans no problem. If you set up a bank account before you were 18, typically someone had to sign on that. So if that is the case, and you haven't opened a new account since, take all your money out of it now. I only say this because my mom filed for bankruptcy, and since I had a student account, they took my money, as well as my grandma's account my mom had co-signed on. My mom had to hire a lawyer and fight for my grandmother and I to get our money back. It was such a mess. I can't stress this enough. Waking up to $0 after having a little over $900 in savings is heartbreaking. Is he filing for liquidation or to reorganize his debts? It will not affect you or your stuff, but if you plan on going to school and applying for federal student aid, it could affect that. It means for now on his dad who? If it makes you feel safer, gather a box of items to keep at a friend's house. If you are 19 and still living at home, they will have to sell you. You're 20, that's old enough to work, lol.